It's Montreal, Canada's own. It's your boy Sid, and welcome to Speak Your Mind all the time. People, wow, people, I'm telling you, I got a big guest. I got the one, the only, the B, the I, the D, the G. James is in
You,
the building. My guy, Big Game James, what you been up to, man? How you been?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. You messed up the whole intro, though, dog. You
Yeah,
messed up
I
my
did.
whole intro.
I did. I
Well,
did. I
but
did.
I, but
All I have
see,
to say.
but it's cool. I caught you, and I love you. See, if you weren't a friend, I would just be like, let you go ahead and do it. But see, since I'm a friend, I'm gonna have to tell on you. You dropped the whole ball on the intro,
Yeah.
on all that. But that's okay. We good. What's up with you, dog?
Yeah. Man, I wanted to say the B, the I, the G. James, yeah. It's in the building, but man, nerves, man. It's been a minute. We
Yeah,
haven't spoken in a minute.
yeah.
How you been, man? How's the family? Tell me. I know you're doing big things. I keep seeing a lot of stuff on Instagram with football. I think your son, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Actually, my cousin, my little nephew, actually, he has been turning up. He's at LSU. He just transferred from LSU.
Nice,
He's going
nice.
to University of California now. He entered the transfer portal. I think that was the best thing for him. I actually said I wanted him to go on the West Coast, and then he committed, so I'm excited about that. And then I got my little homie from Little League football that I coached for a couple years. My homie's son, I've known for about 40 years. He got picked up as he got signed as an undrafted rookie free agent safety, strong safety, Julius Wood. Shout out to Julius Wood, East Carolina, baby. Columbus owns finest, baby. Walnut Ridge, Columbus Rams. We was there. We seen it. We talked about it, and now it's here. So go get it. Go get it. So I'm praying nothing that he can make this squad, and that'll make my day. You know what I'm saying? I ain't on these Cowboys like I used to be, but hey, Julius makes that team. I'll be there.
Oh man, congratulations, man. I'm really happy for you, man. So listen, I know I've been out the scene for a
Hmm.
minute. You've been doing big things, man. I see that you're doing your channel, your followers are there, your subscribers are there. The game has changed a little bit,
A
but
lot of
I
it.
know you yeah. I know you do it just as much. The reason why we do it for the love of the game, man. We do it
Hmm.
for the Cowboys. But I do know that it's changed a lot, and I'm happy that I reached out and without hesitation, you said, "Man, I'm good. I'm on," and I appreciate you coming on the show. And we used to chop it up a lot, man. We used to do like
Hmm.
long, 3, 4, 5 hour
Well,
show.
that's your fault, dog. You went on the hiatus, not me. I understand life happens,
Yeah,
so I totally understand that. And you got to take care of yourself first before you do all this cowboy stuff. Because at the end of the day, we love our team, but life is more important than this because this don't make or break us, but life does. So I definitely understand taking a hiatus, and I'm glad you're back
yeah, man. I'm back, man. And like I said, thank you again for coming on the show. So let's
for sure.
jump right into it.
Hmm.
Big weekend that just passed by. The draft just finished. We got Tyler Guyton, we got Marshawn Nealand, Cooper Beebe. Let's go. Murrish, I don't even know how to pronounce his
I
last name.
know. I don't think none of us do.
Liu Fa.
Lou
We
Fowl?
got
I'm gonna say Lou
Lou
Fowl.
Fa. Lou Fa. We got Keelan Garson, Ryan Flourney, Norton Thomas, Justin Rogers. So
Hmm.
let's not talk about grades. Let's
Right.
just talk about how do you feel we did? Who was the one player that you think will make a difference, and who was the one player that you were like, whoa, that came out of left field?
Right now, who I think is gonna make the difference right now is Cooper Beebe, Kansas State, I believe. A lot of people were talking about him prior to the draft. Particularly my guy Dom White and my homegirl Stargaze. I like to give them their flowers because they stayed on this kid. He's like 6'4", about 322 pounds. He played guard and tackle, but he said he could play every position. I went and checked his background. His whole family played football. His dad played football. His two other brothers played football. So football is in his blood, and he's like a grunt. He's like a big
Yeah,
lumberjack. When I see him, he just looks like a big lumberjack. He's not the guy that's going to kill you athletic ability wise, but he's a smart guy. He's a strong guy. And what we need on that offensive line is strength because if you look at our offensive line the past few years, it's been compromised with power football. Yeah, we can get on the outside, but when we need those 1 or 2 or 3 yards, Dallas was always struggling with that power football, power blocking. So I think he's going to bring that back. So I would say he is the guy that's going to hit the ground running. They have high expectations for him. They want to put him at center. Beatish is gone. You
Yep.
know, you got Brock Hoffman, who's working his tail off, but he is undrafted. So if Cooper Beebe can handle those calls, I can see him being starting center day one like Travis Frederick. So I definitely can see that one.
Yeah, they said, you know what? A lot of people were really happy when we went and got him. Listen, I'm not a big college guy. I always
Hmm.
do my research after the fact. I have
Hmm.
been watching tape on this guy, and like you said, he said he could play any position. I think he'd be a good center, but he can also play as a guard, right? So
Yeah.
these are big. This was a big move. I think this was the best pick out of everybody that we chose in the draft.
I would probably
So
agree with you because of the trade back.
yes,
You got that third round pick,
third,
and that third
yep.
round pick you traded, that's who you picked up.
Yeah, no, 100%. Okay, so with that being said, who is the one player you were like, what, what, who?
Um, for me, I'm going to say, and understand how I'm saying this, the Kalen
Yeah,
Carson 5th round pick. He was
okay,
the head scratcher not because of his ability. I watched him. I like his ability. He's aggressive, corner. He's
corner.
got good size.
Mhm.
Not mad at him as at itself, but you could have got a defensive tackle. Now, I was definitely talking about the running back Trey Benson in the 3rd round. You could have scooped him instead of taking Marshawn Freeland. But I understand why they did that. And I'm not mad at the Marshawn pick because I really like him. I think he's going to be something good later on. I felt like you could get explosive back. But teams are going to be true to the board. And if he wasn't higher on the board, I understand that. But my head scratcher is Carson because there was 3 defensive tackles that were available. uh Northern Iowa, I cannot forget his name. Christian, I can't remember his last name. Jaden Crumedy and a defensive tackle Wingo from LSU. All 3 of those guys were available when you picked Carson in the 5th round. Dallas is still lacking in the defensive tackle department. They have 3 defensive tackles, I believe. You have Mozzie, who we don't know. We don't know what's up
Oh
with
no,
him.
he just got shoulder surgery.
Yeah, and he may not even be ready for camp. So that's
Yep,
huge. Carl Long, you picked from the Patriots. We don't know what Carl Long is. We don't know if he's going to do anything.
anything. You know?
And then you have another like an undrafted player. Like you don't have that room. Now, we understand that the Cowboys are probably going to June 1st cuts. They're going to hit that waiver wire. They're going to scour and they're going to probably pick up
Yeah,
probably maybe a couple guys. We understand that. But at the end of the day, you could have kept Jonathan Hankins on a reasonable deal. That was another body you could have kept. You keep on letting these defensive tackles walk, but you say you want to stop the run. You let Ridgeway go. You let Bohanna walk. You let Jonathan Hankins just walk. These are 3 guys that really could have helped your team. And you're putting that pressure, just like you said, on a guy who disappointed last year, and he has shoulder surgery, and he doesn't really have any mentorship on the team. So that's concerning. So I know you went after Carson, your cornerback, but you got a strong cornerback room. Okay.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have a strong defensive tackle room. And if Jerry keeps on talking about how we want to stop the run, you haven't shown anything that's going to stop the run right now. And so that was the head scratcher for me.
I definitely listen. A lot of the draft was a head scratcher for me. Um, we could jump right into it. One of the big things that I was very surprised is that we didn't go after a running back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get it. We got Freeman, Zeke is coming back, but are those 2 guys solid running backs for us right now? No. So, I heard something today. I was watching a podcast, and yeah, what's up, Mendoza? I was watching a podcast, and they said that they can see Dallas doing what they did when we got Cooper late in the season and going out and getting themselves a solid running back. Now, with that, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
With that being said, I just don't think the running back position is something that Dallas really focuses on because we don't really run the ball, right? And I think with I think they're trying to load up weapons, and I think Dak's going to be throwing the hell out of his arm this year. What do you think?
I think it's going to be the same thing. I totally agree with the Ezekiel Elliott situation. Royce Freeman doesn't move the needle for me. I like Rico Dowdle, but he is injury prone, and I seen what they did to him last year. He had plenty of opportunities and didn't see the field. So what makes me think you're going to let him see the field now? You got Deuce Vaughn, who's 5'5".
5'5", yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not counting him. I'm sorry. 5'5", 175. I'm not hating on no Deuce Vaughn, but I don't feel like you're contributing anything major besides some third downs, some special teams, maybe some catches out the backfield. You feel me? The thing that is the frustrating part for me is you brought Ezekiel Elliott back. Okay. The problem is with me is just what you're doing. It's a sell. It's a sell from Jerry because people are frustrated with this past season, right? That terrible playoffs, that last terrible playoffs. People are frustrated. A lot of people are talking on Twitter are frustrated and mad. Jerry ain't dumb. He knows how to bring and reel people back in. What's the way to reel people back in? We got Zeke back. And guess what? That's the distraction now because we ain't talking about no contracts with Dak, CD, nobody. Now we all talking about Zeke. So it's a great distraction. And guess what? The jerseys have already gone back up. The prices, people are going to start buying it. And so he's a marketing genius once again, and he reels the Cowboys fans back in, but he's not reeling me back in on this. Now, understand when I say this about Ezekiel Elliott, I don't think he's a bum running back. I don't think he's garbage or trash anyway. But my thing is, you had him, you cut him.
No, you cut him. Yeah.
You let him go somewhere else, and then you brought him back. And I made this thing on Twitter. It's just like if you had a Derrick Henry with the Titans, and they cut him, and he went to another team, and he got under 1,000 yards, and then you brought him back the next year. Would Tennessee fans be flipping up and down, or would Tennessee even do that? No other teams are probably. I haven't seen any teams cut a player, a running back of that magnitude, cut him for a year and then bring him back. I feel like it was already like a deal under the table after they cut him. Like, we can't pay you this year because we paying Pollard, but just go over there for a year and we'll bring you right back. It was almost like a silent deal that was going down with Ezekiel Elliott. And as I said, I don't mind him as a complimentary back, a backup, a guy that if you're inside that 10, he's the guy, right? You need some tough yards, he's the guy. I like that. But when you got Dowdle on the team, and let's say you don't add anybody else, Ezekiel Elliott is going to be your starter. And I'm sorry, he doesn't have the explosiveness that he had before. Your offensive line is going to have to be devastating to really open holes for him. Because let's not forget when he was with 2022, he wasn't super great. He was good. But in them playoffs, when Tony Pollard went out and we had to rely on Zeke, what happened? Nothing happened. They weren't scared of Zeke, and I don't feel like teams are afraid of him any longer. That was before, not now. And if you put him as a starting back, it's going to be a situation where he can get some negative yards. Now it's 2nd and 12. You're just going to put this thing back on Dak, and Dak's going to be throwing the ball everywhere once again. And I just feel like Zeke is not moving the needle. You could have gotten an explosive back this year and had Zeke be the backup. That's where it was great. When you had Tony Pollard and you had Zeke, you shouldn't have moved on from it. Y'all cut him and then brought him back. You shouldn't have moved on from him, but you did. So now Pollard's not here. You don't have the explosiveness, and I think it's going to struggle.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with you. I think Zeke is definitely washed. Unfortunately, I'm not saying he's washed. He'll go get us that first down when we need it.
Yeah, I don't think he's washed either, but he's just not scaring no defenses. He's not.
That's it. That's
it.
He's not
explosive
anymore.
Yeah, he's just not the explosive running back, and he's more of the power back. He's more of the grind out back. Those backs, right? That's great, but those backs, when you're doing that, are more the complementary types now, not the starters, because the starters, you don't have the juice, and teams know you don't. So if I'm a smart defensive coordinator, you got Zeke back there, you ain't got nobody. Oh yeah, I'm gonna load the box, not because I'm scared of Zeke. I'm just gonna stop him instantly. And I'm gonna put it on Dak, and I think that's what's gonna happen again, dog.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I don't think Zeke is at the point where he can be a starter again, and definitely not Freeman either. So we're in a situation right now where we have two running backs that are going to be getting us yardage when we need it, maybe punching that end zone. I think Zeke will help us in the red zone.
For
That I
sure.
do have to think. In the
I
red
do
zone
too.
where we struggle, but we got to get there.
Yeah.
We got to get there. We can't depend on Dak to be throwing the ball 90% of the time.
But also this too, Sid. I know where Zeke is the bell cow inside that 10. But I looked over at New England. He didn't have more than 5 touchdowns. If he was
No,
that red zone
he had
guy,
3.
right?
He
If
had
he was that
3
red zone
touchdowns.
guy, then how come when they got near that red zone, he wasn't the guy they were having them punch it in? You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I just feel like the numbers weren't bad, but if you look over at New England, when they said, well, he only played part time, Stevenson over there played 12 games. Ezekiel Elliott played 17. Stevenson only had 40 yards less rushing yards than him, still averaged more yards to carry, and had longer runs. Zeke's longest run was 17 yards. So all I'm saying is, while everybody's talking about how great he did over there, you had a guy that played 5 less games and only had 40 less yards.
Listen, Zeke got 642 yards last year. He averaged 3.5 yards with 3 touchdowns and had 51 yards receiving.
Now 51 catches.
51 catches, I mean. Yeah.
But that was, and you know what, Sid? People brought that up. Oh, but look at what he did catch wise. He did that in Dallas. Okay. If you look at his career, he was getting 50, 54, 56. He had like 71 year. So it wasn't like he wasn't catching the ball here in Dallas, but they weren't for highly productive yards. 51 catches for 336 yards, like 6 yards a pass catch. He was doing that in Dallas. So people are acting like, oh, well, he was. Look what he did in New England catching the ball. He did the same thing in Dallas. What they're doing is they're just over trying to hype this, over market this, to make you feel better and massage your mind. But I seen this team struggle when Zeke was the guy in his latter years. So now you had 2 years away. Now you're gonna come here and all of a sudden you're gonna be a different player? No, I don't believe so. And Jerry's already talking about, oh, he could be a starter. Zeke said I can be a starter. You really think, Sid, Rico Dowdle is going to start over Ezekiel Elliott, knowing the commitment and the love Jerry has for him?
No. And you know what? And a lot of people are saying the same thing. Big shout out to my guy, Micaldo. I think they will use him to hype up the next and upcoming running back.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's a marketing scheme. Listen, how many people did you see how much social media jumped on this? Was who they heard?
It's marketing, bro. Yeah.
Oh my Lord. You know, it's really insane. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Is this the reason? I hope that Jerry Jones is not thinking we don't need to go get a running back in the draft because we got Zeke.
That's what I definitely thought. And I feel like, because think about it, Ezekiel Elliott was talked about before the draft. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't want a running back. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they didn't want to go get a running back. But first of all, Jerry talks too much. He was talking about that Jonathan Brooks from Texas. If you wanted him so bad, you're talking about he was the best interview in 30 years. You just run your mouth. So what happened? Carolina went and traded up and got him. So you was blabbing your mouth and you lost the running back. And like I said, you had opportunities to get other guys, but I just feel like once y'all said y'all were getting Zeke, it got comfortable. Well, guys didn't fall off our board the way we want, but we got Zeke now. It's okay. And I feel like it's settling. And that's what I don't like. I feel like it was settled. Okay, we got Zeke. We have a Deuce Vaughn who last year, he's a running back. He didn't play last year. Dotto wasn't bad. We picked up a Royce Freeman. We like our running back room right now. But that's not an explosive running back room. And your offensive line that you're putting a lot of faith on, Tyler Guyton, moving from that right to the left, and he hasn't really played it. And he is a project for the first year. So you're putting a lot of faith in that. And then Cooper Beebe, hey, as much as we love him, he's still a rookie. You're putting faith that he's going to come in and hit the ground running, right? What if they don't? You get what I'm saying? Because if that line is not supreme, Sid, we seen when that line is not great, Ezekiel Elliott struggles.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So one of the biggest things, Cowboys' entire offseason has been a settlement. Listen, listen. We all know the reason why we didn't do anything really in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
We're having money issues. We have too many people that we're gonna have to be paying real soon. We got CeeDee Lamb, who's in contract negotiations. We got Micah Parsons. We got Dak. These are just those three alone is big money. I think Micah Parsons coming. I've been saying it. Micah Parsons coming for QB money.
Oh, he gonna get paid.
He will. But wait, okay, he'll get paid. But do you think Jerry Jones is gonna play with him? Because he always plays.
He's gonna play. Yeah, he's gonna play with him. They've already talked it in the streets how his attitude is growing thin with the Cowboys. They say it about every player. They start throwing the small smear campaigns on the players. They kind of get things adjusted. But at the end of the day, they're gonna wait on it. Just like with this CeeDee Lamb thing, they've already said. Stephen Jones said time and time again that they're not gonna be market setters, right? So they're not gonna set the market with CD. They're gonna wait for the market to be set and then they're gonna follow it. So that's why you haven't seen any movement, in my opinion, on CeeDee Lamb, because Justin Jefferson hasn't got signed. And once those top guys get signed, then you'll see CD fall right into place. But they're not going to set the market because they're scared. They're scared if they set the market, then the player doesn't play to that, then they feel like they're going to look stupid. They don't want to do that. They rather follow the market and set it, or they rather just sit on their hands, wait for things to happen. They don't make things happen. And once again, that's one of my frustrations with this organization.
So I was actually going to ask this question. My guy AJ, big shout out to my guy AJ. Y'all going to sign Dak again. Do you think the Dallas Cowboys are going to do the right thing, or do you think they're going to let Dak become a free agent next year?
You know, I've been going back and forth with this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm good. I feel like I'm good for the move on, and it's not a diss to Dak, but I do feel like he's had a hand in this these last three playoff losses. I think they look at that. I think they are looking at that. I mean, you know, I had an interview with Mike Fisher, and he said they were all in on Dak, and then something changed, and now they're not all in. Now they're wavering. When I saw Dak's interview on his cancer, thing with Troy Aikman, they were asking him questions, and he said, you know, we'll see. We'll see at the end of the year what happens. Dak said, we'll see at the end of the year. If he's getting signed, why is he saying we'll see at the end of the year what happens? I'm just going by his words. When they said, do you have a fear of not being here or not? He said, I don't have no fear. You know, I'm here right now, and this is what I'm focused on. But, you know, we'll see at the end of the year. And then if that works out, I'm here. If not, I'm prepared to do something else. Once again, Dak said that. He also said, once we get to the table and start to talking and serious talks begin, then we'll see. So that tells me they ain't been talking. Ain't no serious talks going on. When I hear Stephen Jones talking about, oh, yeah, we've been talking back and forth, but we'll just stay quiet, or we're just going to stay quiet about it. Dak wasn't quiet. Dak said they ain't even talk. That's what he said in his interview.
That's what he said. I know. You know what? I said this when I had last week. I had Spoonie on.
Mm-hmm.
I also said it when I had Cowboys fan 1980. Big shout out to those guys. I said, guys, I believe that Dak will be more appreciated on another team.
I do too.
So you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I'm cool with him leaving.
Okay, so
I don't care what anybody tells me. I'm cool with him leaving.
Do you see it? Are you cool with him leaving because of the fact that you're not happy with what he's done with the Dallas Cowboys? Or are you cool with him leaving because the Joneses are just keep playing around with him and he'll never be appreciated?
I feel it's both with me. I feel like
Okay.
I feel like number one, the Joneses, I feel like they haven't been all in with him. At least Steven. I don't know about Jerry, but I don't feel like Steven's been all in on him like that, because I feel like there's always talk. I mean, before he got his first contract, do we forget how Stephen Jones was on TV all the time talking about how Dak got to understand he got to take less money and this and this? Yeah. What other organization did that with their quarterbacks? That's what all I'm saying, dog. Like, people try to spin this stuff to me, but I never seen no other organization go on air talking about the quarterback needs to do this, and the quarterback needs to understand this, and the quarterback needs to understand that. They don't say nothing, Sid. They just get it done and they move on. Only other quarterback I've seen that they're really getting problems with, Kirk Cousins. Well, we know what he is, and Lamar Jackson. Okay, but I still feel like they just have reservations about the pass game, not the ability. So all I'm saying is this. I heard Stephen Jones say all that before he got contract. And then now I'm just listening to what Dak said. I'm listening to what I heard Mike Fisher tell me in the building. And then also, I'm not going to lie. It's been 8 years. The last 3 playoff appearances, I'm sorry, Dak had a hand in that. I'm not saying he was the main reason why Dallas lost those games, but he had a hand in those losses. He was part of the reason why Dallas lost all of those playoff games. So I feel like, yeah, I just feel like 8 years. What else are you going to show? You had really good teams those last 3 years. Now, are you understand what I'm saying, Sid? You had 3 good teams. Those are really good teams that could have been to a chip. We had all the ability, offense and defense. You didn't do it. So, Sid, from my perspective, if you re-sign him, what's going to lead me to believe that you're going to be able to do it now?
100%.
You get what I'm saying? And it's not, it's not a shade to Dak, but it's just like you had teams, and now this team is not the same team it was last year. So you're going to do more with less, and we never seen the Cowboys ever get over the hump. So what's going to lead me to believe that it's going to happen? I just don't believe it now. Sorry.
You know what? Seeing what, yeah, man. Please preach, man. Seeing what the Dallas Cowboys have done in the offseason, which is nothing, and seeing Jerry Jones talking about how all these rookies need to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, let's be honest. College ball, NFL, totally different caliber, right? Am I wrong?
No. And a lot of these guys you're drafting are the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th rounders, not top of the line guys.
Not top of. So you're asking rookies to fill big shoes and to go up out there and basically, guys, I need you guys to be the next, the next top guy and go out there and be dogs. And guys, that's a lot of pressure that you're putting on these rookies. You understand what I'm saying? And I believe that some of these rookies will be on that line and they're going to go up against some of these defensive players, and these defensive players are going to chew them up and spit them out.
That's why I feel that's going to hype in the Guyton.
Yep. Listen, let's go back to Michael Parsons for a second. And this statement, I honestly believe, if the Cowboys don't pay Micah, Dan Quinn and the Commanders will drop a bag on him.
Anybody's going to drop a bag on Michael Parsons, dog.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody's going to do that.
Yeah. I don't want us to lose Micah. I really hope that Jerry Jones just give him what he wants. At this point,
it's not Jerry though. It's not Jerry though. Jerry has the money, but Steven is the one that be doing all the talking and saying, hey, Jerry, don't be doing all this and doing that. So I'm not really concerned about the Jerry thing, but I am concerned about an 81-year-old dude. I'm not lying. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Sid. I'm frustrated about that. This guy is 81 years old. He's not all there. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's not all there no more. And this guy is the general manager of the team. 81? 81? That's crazy to me. Sorry, I can't just. I'm sorry. That right there tells me a lot.
Yeah, the front office has always been. Well, we all know, right? The front office has always been a big issue. And now a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, Stephen Jones is now the one." Stephen Jones is not any better than Jerry Jones.
Stephen Jones is worse. I don't even feel like I'm gonna tell you right now. I would take Jerry Jones over Stephen Jones any day. And here's the thing: Jerry don't annoy me like Stephen does. Jerry just gets on my nerves because he's always talking and he's always just running his mouth. But I never really hate on Jerry because Jerry, especially in those younger years when he first took over the team, he was always aggressive. Every year, we got to do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl. So if we got to trade some people, we got to trade some picks, we got to do this, even if it might be a little overselling, at least we're trying. I can't get mad at that. If it failed, okay. But at least you tried. That's the difference. If it fails and you tried, you feel better. If it fail or if it never fails because you never tried, then you're always going to wonder. And I think that's what the issue I have with Steven. We understand you're not paying free agents. We already know that. But these so always trying to win negotiations and you damn near never do.
No.
And just like with Tyron Smith, I said get rid of Tyron Smith in 2019, get picks from him. Y'all didn't want to do it. So guess what? He walks and leaves for nothing. And y'all talking about how much y'all love Tyron Smith, right? Tyron Smith gave you a great contract, had his body breaking down. Oh, he's a Hall of Famer, this and this. Y'all kept him last year for the pay for play. But as soon as he makes all pro and plays 13 games and he says, no, I want to get paid this year, bye, Tyron. Thank you for everything you did. You got to go.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's
the Dallas Cowboy way. And
Dallas Cowboys.
And it's fine when you're winning Super Bowls, like when New England was doing, how they stayed ahead of the curve, got rid of players, but y'all ain't winning nothing. So when y'all trying to do the Patriot way or take their formula or theory, y'all not winning Super Bowls. Y'all not going to championship games. So when y'all do that, I don't look at y'all like, ooh, y'all just did a really good move, because y'all not winning nothing. So I look at those moves a little bit different. Whereas if you were winning something and then you cut the player, I would think a little different. But you're cutting a player and you ain't won nothing just to save some money. That's why you don't win nothing.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. You know, a friend of mine, big shout out to my guy, CJ from BuzzFeed. Big shout out to BuzzFeed, my proud sponsors. He said something last week and we were chopping it up. He says, the Dallas Cowboys is the one and the biggest organization with the most money, but they're the cheapest organization.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to pay their players. You want to win the Super Bowl, pay your players.
They're the richest, poorest organization.
There you go. You heard it here. You heard it from my man, Big Game James. Exactly what he just said.
The richest, poorest organization.
Yep. Before we wrap it up, I got two more questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Belichick.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm going there. So, do you think the Dallas Cowboys? I've already said it. I think we're going to have a rough season because I look at us as a rebuilding team right now. I think
we're definitely, in my opinion, we're regressing. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, do you think Mike McCarthy will be a Dallas Cowboy in 2025? And do you think that Jerry Jones is already setting up Bill Belichick to take his place next year? Because
I definitely think he's setting it up.
yeah. So
my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you see that happening.
I can see it happening because Bill Belichick has already put on a short list of teams he will want to coach next year, and Dallas is on there. Mm-hmm. Jerry Jones loves Bill Belichick. Connect the dots. You think Jerry's 81 years old, and that's the only reason why me and my guy Dan Rogers from Blogging the Boys, we had a good back and forth, and that's the only reason why I think the Cowboys would re-sign him, because Jerry don't want to start over and start with purgatory. But don't let Trey Lance turn up in that damn preseason, boy. It's going to be a lot of controversy, but Jerry going to love all of it. He going to love all of it. But, as far as the Bill Belichick thing, please, Lord, no, this man will be 72, 73 years old. He wants to be a GM. He's not great. And here's the thing. He's terrible at drafting, but great in free agency. Dallas doesn't touch free agency and does draft. How's that working? Because Will McClay is still in the building, and he was the GM. You understand what I'm saying? So that dynamic seems just so wonky because it's like totally different from where you think. And then let's say you don't win with Mike McCarthy, and let's say you do sign Dak, right? You don't think there's going to be a lot of noise they sign Dak Prescott to a huge deal, and then they do a lame duck season? What? They're going to kill Dak. They're going to put it all on him. And then you get a Belichick. Let's say you get a Belichick, man. Everybody's gonna and what Jerry's gonna do is sell it. Oh, we got Bill Belichick. Okay, we good, bro. It's just sad the marketing, the selling of what they do to the fans just to bring them back in. And sorry, dog, I'm not falling for it. So people can hate on me, say, oh, you go to another team. No, I ain't got to go nowhere. I can just call this team out if I feel like it because I ain't mad. I don't play for them. This ain't making me mad. But I definitely am allowed to say things about the Cowboys that I see that are foolishness, and they've been doing it for so long. But we don't want to look at it because we diehards and we just don't want to acknowledge it or see it. But it's damn sure there.
It's there, 100%. Listen, I'm not I don't want Bill Belichick.
Neither do I.
I don't want no every
old ass coach.
Thank you. I don't want no old ass coach. Go get me one of those young guys
right
that have new ideas that are willing to come in and make changes. These guys are so set in their ways.
Right. And what does Belichick won without Brady? Now I don't want to hear all this, dog. What does he won without Brady, dog? Like Brady left you and went to a chip. You went Brady left you, they went to a chip. You didn't go to the playoffs.
That should say it all. That says it all right there. That says it all. So
remember, Bill Belichick was pumping up Jimmy Garoppolo. Is he a good quarterback?
Hell no.
Remember, he traded for Mac Jones and went and got Mac Jones. What is Mac Jones doing? You feel me? They're living off that reputation stuff, and I don't like it, and it just smells nasty. And I feel like Mike McCarthy's in for the lame duck year. I actually still like McCarthy. He be getting scary and he be choking and he be bothering me. But I like McCarthy. Like, I still like him as a coach. But you know what? The Joneses, to me, last year was all in for them. If you see the moves that they made, and it fell flat on their face. And now I feel like they're like, we ain't doing that this year. We're going to do it our way now. We gave you what you wanted last year, Mike McCarthy, and you choked it.
Listen, the interview before the draft, you just saw it on Mike McCarthy's face.
It was this dog.
I'm like, man, this guy knows that his job is done next. Look, he really he had no interest to be there. None.
He was just sitting there.
Yeah, literally, and he looked he looks upset. Everything on his face said it all. I'm like, man, this guy knows his job is
bro, you know what? If Mike McCarthy leaves and he goes to another team, the only thing I want to ask them to ask McCarthy is, what was your time like in Dallas? So he's away from that organization. I want him to tell it all.
Tell it all. Tell it all. Tell it, please. Please do. So listen, with that being said, man, I have one last question. And I know it's early to ask this question, but I ask everybody this. If you were to look at the draft, who we have on paper, and what we're going to do this season, what is our record going into as of now? What would you think our record is going to be?
Got a harder schedule too. I'm going to say I don't feel like we get 12 wins this year. I think we regress. I think 9 to 10 wins this year. I just feel like it happens. We don't run through the East like we did. I think we split with the Eagles. We split with Washington this year. I think Washington will get us one time this year. I think we sweep the Giants, but across the board we got harder teams, and we'll see what happens after the June 1st cuts, because that's the only thing we can live off now for the replenishment of other players. So we're gonna kind of be on that pause to see who they pick up. But as of right now, if you looked at all the years since McCarthy has been here, Sid, they have gotten busy in the marches with picking up players. Even though they were toward the end, they were still the Gerald McCoys, the Don Terry Poes, the Ha Ha Dicks. They were trying to step out there and do it a little different, right? But now, if you look at this year, they didn't do that. They didn't do none of that. They haven't touched anybody except Eric Kendricks and re-signed a few of their own. And I just feel like, I'm not saying they're definitely sabotaging the year. I'm not saying that at all. But I just feel like they're like, hey, all right, we're going to pick up who we pick up. Y'all do this, and if we don't make it this year, we're going to break this team up some more. I feel like this is the last hurrah for quite a few players. Zach Martin's on the last year of his deal.
Yeah.
They picked up Cooper Beebe. DeMarcus Lawrence is the last year of his deal. They picked up Marshawn Freeland. And we'll see what happens with Dak, because to me, it's the Trey Lance watch this offseason, especially in the preseason. And if I'm telling you, if that man comes out there and goes crazy in that preseason, dog, you're going to hear noise, especially if Dak ain't signed.
Well, remember, that's what happened with Dak and Romo. Dak came
And
in preseason and balled out.
and he took the spot. But also
So
he did have injuries because Kellen Moore
yeah,
was hurt and
yeah,
Romo was hurt. So we can see why he kind of because he wasn't even the second string. Kellen Moore was. You feel me? He only took that job by default. But even look when you saw when Cooper Rush did a little bit. Everybody was talking Cooper Rush this, Cooper Rush
Cooper
that.
Rush. Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah, yeah.
Jerry would light the fire like it's good to have a little controversy here. Like he would light the fire. So you gonna
Yeah,
tell me if Cooper Rush did that in 1 games, if Lance comes in here and it's just gonna be a
yeah,
mess. So
yeah.
I'm just saying, if he ain't signed by June, July, yeah, he ain't gonna be
And,
here.
and Lance
If
goes
he's
off.
not signed by the beginning of the year, Dak's not gonna be here, in my opinion.
Wow, wow, big statement right there, man. You guys heard it here on Speak Your Honor Mind all the time, man. Big games, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show. So before I let you go, please tell everybody where to find you, man.
Oh man, you can just type in BGJ. That's the handle on my YouTube. Big Game James. You can check me on my Twitter because my shows roll concurrently with that. I signed on with College Football Dogs, so we'll be doing the show every Monday. Um, through them. I'm excited about that. And then, just like I said, don't really do Facebook anymore. They hated on me. I got like a 25,000 follower uh, page, and they locked me out of my page once again on some foo-foo stuff. So
Really?
mainly, yeah, I just hate. I built up 45,000 followers on that damn thing twice, and they just be hating. So I'm done with Facebook on that. So just check me out on YouTube or Twitter. That's the game to handle. Also do high school football. Do a lot of high school interviews. Uh, interviewed probably over 80 kids the last 2.5 years, and I'm morphing that into the college football dogs to really make a pipeline for these young players to leave straight from high school and get into college. So make sure you keep your eyes on that college football dogs. We're really going to try to build that and grow that because we really want to get these kids scholarships. We really want to open up these doors for these young men out there, and we really want to give them opportunities. So just keep your eyes on that because that's what I'm pushing more than anything else.
Yeah, man, 100%. Yo, we still got to get you down here in Montreal, Canada, man.
Hey, I'm
I told
cool.
you,
I'm with it.
I told you the last. Yo, you got to come check some of the football programs we have out here. Flag
I'm
football is
with it.
definitely taking off
It
in
has.
Montreal, Canada,
It has.
nationwide actually.
It has.
Getting
But
more and more
Canada has
popular.
really stepped their game up in football, especially in the high school ranks. Because
Yeah.
I'm be honest, Canada used to be a laughing stock when you played a high school team in Canada. They used to just laugh because we going to run up. But Canada has really stepped the game up. Actually, I interviewed a Canadian high school player
Mhm.
um, last year, and he broke down a lot of things to me, and it was a really exciting interview. So definitely, I'm definitely coming down there. We'll talk and we'll get that coordinated because I gotta come down to Canada.
Yeah, man, you definitely. I already told you, my house is open, man. Definitely love to have you on, and we could definitely chop it up and go live and go crazy, and definitely showing you the real life out
Show
there.
me them streets.
Yeah, man, 100%, man.
Show me
Like I
them
said, I
streets.
I appreciate you coming on, man. Please, let's chop it up again once the
Yeah,
season starts.
for sure.
Training camp is starting. There's gonna be so
Anytime.
much cow. People don't realize Cowboys are always have something to talk about year round,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Year round, the most talked about team in the NFL. Let's be honest.
That's facts.
They always will be. They always will be. I appreciate you coming on, man. We'll definitely get back together. Thanks a lot for tuning in. It's your boy Sid. And you know what?